I drove past the gravel road where the mailbox leans with rust. The windows crack like broken glass, memories covered in dust. The screen door hangs on one last hinge, creaks like a wounded song, and every step across that porch feels like I don't belong. The wallpaper's fading roses, peeling down with time. Kitchen table still sits there like it's waiting for grace to die. I hear my mother's laughter, I see my daddy's chair, but the silence in these empty rooms chills the autumn air. This is the house that don't breathe anymore. Shadows of the life we had behind that door. Walls still whisper, floors still ache, but no one's here to give, no one left to take. It's just wooden nails, but it holds my core, the house that don't breathe anymore. I touched the frame where my height was carved 10 summers in a row. Now I stand here taller, but there's nowhere left to grow. The old piano in the corner, keys are out of tune, yet I swear I hear a hymn drift through the lonely room. The attic smells like cedar, with boxes tucked away, letters tied with ribbon, and toys from yesterday. And I wonder if the echoes know the pain I'm walking through, or if they're just old shadows chasing what was true. This is the house that don't breathe anymore. Shadows of the life we had behind that door. Walls still whisper, floors still ache, but no one's here to give, no one left to take. It's just wooden nails, but it holds my core, the house that don't breathe anymore. Maybe every place we love becomes a grave we keep, a monument of stories buried in the deep. I tried to walk away, but the past keeps calling back, every memory a ghost upon this broken track. I lock the door behind me, though there's no one here to steal, just habit from a childhood when the nights were real. The crickets hum their chorus, the moonlight paints the floor, and I whisper one last prayer to the house that breathes no more. This is the house that don't breathe anymore. Shadows of the life we had behind that door. Walls still whisper, floors still ache, but no one's here to give, no one left to take. It's just wooden nails, but it holds my core, the house that don't breathe anymore. Yeah, this house that don't breathe anymore. Summer peaches used to sit in jars along the shelf. Mama canned them every year, sweet reminders of herself. Now that same glass holds your ashes, riding in my car. Every mile I drive with you feels closer, feels so far. The lid is rusted silver, the glass still shines like tears. I keep it buckled in the seat, been that way for years. Some nights I set it by the bed, whisper low your name, hoping maybe heaven listens, maybe you do the same. Ashes in the mason jar, memories in my hands, holding what I couldn't keep, never understand. Love's a flame that burned too quick, left me where you are. Now I carry you forever. Ashes in the mason jar. We picked peaches in the orchard, barefoot in July, laughing with the fireflies chasing through the sky. I still taste the summer sun dripping down my chin, back when life was sweeter, back when you were in. The preacher said you're resting now, laid down in God's embrace, but I needed something closer, I needed your face. So I took a jar of glass, the one you love to hold. Now it holds the pieces of the stories we won't tell. Ashes in the mason jar, memories in my hands, holding what I couldn't keep, never understand. Love's a flame that burned too quick, left me where you are. Now I carry you forever. Ashes in the mason jar. Some nights I talk to you, some nights I cry, some nights I hate the stars for living in the sky. But this old jar reminds me love don't ever fade, it just changes form and carries what was made. One day I'll take you back to the orchard where we kissed, set you free among the roots in the soil you've missed. Let the peaches bloom again, let the fireflies return, and maybe in the summer wind your spirit still will burn. Ashes in the mason jar, memories in my hands, holding what I couldn't keep, never understand. Love's a flame that burned too quick, left me where you are. Now I carry you forever. ashes in the mason jar. Yeah, forever in a mason jar. Forever where the peaches are. Sitting in the glove box of a truck that won't start, leather cover torn apart, pages yellowed at the heart. Daddy kept it by his side through the fire and the rain, but the rust on Daddy's Bible tells a different kind of pain. He swore by every word inside when he was a younger man, said grace before the table, steady calloused hands. But the years took Mama early, then the drought took half the land, and faith felt like a stranger he no longer understands. There's rust on Daddy's Bible, dust on the pew, hymns left unspoken, prayers left unused, but the ink's still bleeding, hope on every faded page. Though his heart grew weary, the words never aged. Rust on Daddy's Bible, but love still shines through. I found it last November when I cleaned the old Ford out, right beside a pack of smokes, an empty can of stout. I opened up to Psalms and the verses fell apart, but in the margin scribbled notes still carried Daddy's heart. He wrote, son, the world gets heavy, and faith can feel so small, but don't you judge a man of God when he stumbles, when he falls. Even rust can't kill the metal, even storms can't break the stone, and when you're lost you'll find the way in words you've always known. There's rust on Daddy's Bible, dust on the pew, hymns left unspoken, prayers left unused, but the ink's still bleeding, hope on every faded page. Though his heart grew weary, the words never aged. Rust on Daddy's Bible, but love still shines through. Now every Sunday morning I take it off the shelf. I'd read aloud the verses Daddy couldn't for himself. I swear I hear his voice in the silence of the room, whispering through the rust, his faith still blooms. The preacher talks of heaven, the streets all paved with gold, but Daddy's road was gravel, full of stories never told. And maybe faith ain't spotless, Maybe grace is scarred and true, like rust upon a Bible, but the meaning still shines through. There's rust on Daddy's Bible, dust on the pew, hymns left unspoken, prayers left unused, but the ink's still bleeding, hope on every faded page. Though his heart grew weary, the words never aged. Rust on Daddy's Bible, but the Spirit shines through. Yeah, the rust on Daddy's Bible, but the love still shines through. The porch light still flickering, though no one's coming home. Two rocking chairs are swaying, but both of them alone. One was hers beside the roses, coffee in her hand. The other was for Daddy, steady as the land.
She left one summer morning, cancer took her fast. Daddy sat there every night, holding to the past. Then the winter claimed his silence, he joined her in the sky. Now I sit here staring, asking God why.
Chairs by the screen door swing, haunted by the songs the crickets used to sing. They don't rock the way they used to, they just creak into the air. Memories are living in those two empty chairs. I still hear her humming while the biscuits baked, and Daddy's boots on gravel, that sound I can't shake. Sometimes I sit between them, close my eyes and pray that love could stitch the distance and bring them back today.
Slowly tip their hats and know that every chair tells stories of the lives that used to glow. Now it's just an echo, wood against the wind. But when I sit here quiet, I feel them once again.
Two empty chairs by the screen door swing, haunted by the songs the crickets used to sing. They don't rock the way they used to, they just creak into the air. Memories are living in those two empty chairs. Some things time don't carry, some things time won't mend. Chairs can outlast people, but they're faithful to the end.
And though the porch grows older and the paint begins to peel, the love those chairs are holding is the only thing that's real.
One day my kids will see me rocking slow out there, and I'll tell them about the stories in those weathered chairs, how love can leave an imprint stronger than the years, how silence tells a story louder than the tears. Two empty chairs by the screen door swing, haunted by the songs the crickets used to sing. They don't rock the way they used to, they just creak into the air. Memories are living in those two empty chairs. Yeah, memories are living in two empty chairs. There's a cross made out of cedar, leaning in the clay. Flowers faded, plastic red, the rain has washed away. They say he loved the freight trains, used to chase them down the line. But one night whiskey met the rails and he ran out of time. Mama lights a candle every Sunday night, stands there by the gravel road, whispers to the night. Daddy shakes his head, says the boy just loved too wild, but the echo of a train still calls their child. He's buried beside the tracks where the steel wheels sing, underneath the whistles cry, beneath the iron ring. Some lives are fast as freight trains, never looking back. Now his soul runs forever, buried beside the tracks. I remember summer evenings, pennies on the rail, laughing as the thunder came, a game we'd never fail. He'd say someday I'll be riding, never tied to one small town. Guess he found his ticket, but it laid him in the ground. I can still hear the preacher with his Bible in his hand. Said the Lord don't count the miles, he just knows where you stand. But when that engine thundered, rolling through the rain, I swear I felt my brother's spirit riding that train. He's buried beside the tracks where the steel wheels sing, underneath the whistles cry, beneath the iron ring. Some lives are fast as freight trains, never looking back. Now his soul runs forever, buried beside the tracks. Every crossing's got its ghost, every whistle's got its prayer, every town's got someone lost and a family left to beg. But the tracks don't hold no mercy, they don't bend,
and I hear that midnight sound, I picture him still smiling as the wheels spin round. He didn't get forever, but he got the life he craved, and the rhythm of the railroad is the song upon his grave. He's buried beside the tracks where the steel wheels sing underneath the whistle's cry. Beneath the iron ring, some lives are fast as freight trains, never looking back. Now his soul runs forever, buried beside the tracks, buried beside the tracks.
There's a notebook on the table, pages torn and stained, every word a battle cry, every chorus pain. The pen still smells like whiskey, the strings still hum with fire, but tonight it feels like endings, not songs that climb higher.
I've written for the heartbreak, I've written for the crowd, but my voice feels tired now, though I'm singing loud.
This guitar's been my lifeline, my confession booth of sound. Now I'm weighing if this might be the last time it comes round. This is the last song before the silence, one more prayer before the night. Every word's a fading echo, every chord's a flickering light. When the music stops its breathing, what will the world define? This is the last song before the silence, and the silence will be mine. I see faces in the front row, people I don't know, yet they've carried all my secrets through the highs and lows. I wonder if they'll miss me, if they'll sing these lines, or if I'll just be ashes scattered in their minds.
Mama used to tell me, son, your voice is heaven's gift, but heaven feels so quiet now, like it never did exist.
I'm staring down the shadows, the dark that no one sees, hoping one more melody might finally set me free. This is the last song before the silence, one more prayer before the night. Every word's a fading echo, every chord's a flickering light. When the music stops its breathing, what will the world define? This is the last song and the silence will be mine. Sometimes the loudest moment is when nothing's left to play. Sometimes the strongest heartbeat is the one that fades away. But if the silence greets me, let it carry my refrain, that love was in the music, and the music hides the pain. So I'll play this last chorus with my soul stripped bare. Let the strings cry louder than the weight I bear. If tomorrow never finds me, let this be my sign that I gave the world my everything, in rhythm and in rhyme. This is the last song before the silence. One more prayer before the night. Every word's a fading echo, every chord's a flickering light. When the music stops its breathing, what will the world define? This is the last song before the silence, and the silence will be mine. Yeah, the silence will be mine. I built this house with nothing but a hammer and a prayer. Nailed down dreams and cedar beams, raised it with my care. Every board I sanded, every wall I stained. Now it's just a hollow place where echoes still remain. I work these hands to bleeding, callous through the years. Held you close on stormy nights, dried away your tears. But love don't always follow where sweat and labor go. And now the walls are standing, but the heart don't glow. I've got splinters in my hands from the life I tried to build, chasing down forever, but forever stood still. Every cut and every bruise tells a story I can't stand. All I got to show tonight are splinters in my hands. The rocking chair I made you still creaks out on the porch, but the fire that once was ours has long since lost its torch. I carved our names in oak wood, thought time would make it last. But even solid timber cracks when storms are blowing fast. I swore I'd keep on fighting, I swore I'd never break. But sawdust dreams can crumble when the ground begins to shake. Now I'm staring at the rafters, wondering what went wrong. Still building with my side.
life I tried to build, chasing down forever, but forever stood still. Every cut and every bruise tells a story I can't stand. All I got to show tonight are splinters in my hands. Funny how the wood remembers every strike and every scar, but people don't hold steady. They forget just who you are. And love can't be constructed with a hammer and a plan. It takes more than broken lumber, more than splinters in my hands. Now the years are on my shoulders, and my hands are rough with age, but the lessons in the lumber still read like a page. Love ain't built on timber, love ain't built on stone. It's the spaces in between that make a house a home. I've got splinters in my hands from the life I tried to build, chasing down forever, but forever stood still. Every cut and every bruise tells a story I can't stand. All I got to show tonight are splinters in my hands. Just splinters in my hands, and the ghost of what we've been.
There's a place out past the river where the steel beams kiss the sky, where we carved our names in secret, swore we'd never say goodbye. The water held our laughter, the moon held every vow, but time don't keep its promises, it only keeps the how.
I still hear your voice there in the cool September rain. Whispered dreams of leaving town, never feeling chains.
We were kids with open hearts, shadows in the night, but love can fade like lanterns when the dawn takes back its light. Now it's just the echo the bridge, a ghost of what we had, balanced on the ridge. The river keeps on rolling, but the past don't budge. I hear your name in the silence, where the echoes judge. Train still shakes the timbers, the rails still scream above, and I wonder if you're out there, did you ever find your love? I stayed here by the water, building years like stone, while the echo under the bridge reminds me I'm alone.
Some folks say the past is gone, but I don't believe that lie, 'cause I can hear you calling when the river's running high.
Every raindrop hits like footsteps, every shadow feels like skin. Every echo whispers, would you do it all again? Now it's just the echo under the bridge, a ghost of what we had, balanced on the ridge. The river keeps on rolling, but the past don't budge. I hear your name in the silence, where the echoes judge. Some promises don't vanish, they get written in the beams. Some loves don't just vanish, they keep showing in your dreams. I close my eyes and swear I see your hand reach out for mine, but it's only the echo, trapped in borrowed time. If I could carve a new vow, I'd carve it deep in stone, that love can't live on echoes, it needs a heart of home. But I'll keep on returning to where the river sings, to sit beneath the shadows and hear what silence brings. Now it's just the echo under the bridge, a ghost of what we had, balanced on the ridge. The river keeps on rolling, but the past don't budge. I hear your name in the silence, where the echoes judge. Yeah, it's only the echo, under the bridge.
There's an old red barn out past the line, where the paint's long gone and the roof's decline. Every beam tells a story, every nail's got rust, but one name in the timber never turned to dust. I carved it one July when the hay was high, your laughter in the rafters, sunlight in your eyes. And we were young and reckless, swearing love won't fade. So I left a piece of forever in that old wood grain. Her name in the grain, it still shines like fire through the years of rain, through the winds that tire. The barn may fall, the fields may change, but I'll always trace her name in the grain. There in the evening when the sky turns gold, running fingers on the letters, though the wood feels cold. The world kept turning, you moved on with time, but my heart stayed frozen in that moment of mine. I built a praise and Sunday hymns, but nothing ever touched me like the love back then. And when the night is heavy and the whiskey strong, I hear your name in the silence carved into a song. Her name in the grain, it still shines like fire through the years of rain, through the winds that tire. The barn may fall, the fields may change, but I'll always trace her name in the grain. Wood remembers when the world forgets. Love burns deeper than the sun when it sets. You can't paint over, can't wash away what a young man carved on a summer day. Sometimes I wonder if you've ever passed by, seen the mark in the wood, and maybe thought of July. Would you smile at the memory or just walk away? Either way, your name's still here to stay. Her name in the grain, it still shines like fire through the years of rain, through the winds that tire. The barn may fall, the fields may change, but I'll always trace her name. And when they tear it down and nothing remains, I'll carry her name in the grain. I had a song on my lips every morning light, chords in my pocket, words burning bright. You were the reason, the muse in my hands. Every note was a letter you could understand. But the night you left, guitar just cried, strings all broke, and the sound just died. I sat in the dark with the weight of the sky, trying to sing, but no sound would fly. That was the day the music went quiet. No more fire, no more riot. The world kept spinning, but my soul stood still. Empty verses that I can't refill. The jukebox in town still plays our tune, but it don't sound the same without you in the room. Folks still clap when the melody starts. that I can't refill. They say broken men still find a song, but I've been silent for far too long. A melody dies when the heart can't mend, and every refrain needs a place to end. If I ever sing again, it'll be for you, a hymn of a love that I once knew. But until that day, I'll sit with the night and honor the silence where you took the light.